So today I got the topic to explain you, that is array declaration and initialization. Okay, so let's start. So first of all, let's see array declaration. Okay, how to generally you declare variable just like a simple single statement, that is integer mark, integer number. Okay, now you are going to declare array. So how to declare an array? So whenever you need to specify array, there are certain things that you have to mention. For example, first one is what kind of array. Okay, what kind of array you want to declare. Now basically these things refer to what kind of value you want to store. Okay, for example, if I want to store integer values, I want to store character values. Okay, so basically you have to mention data type of particular array, okay, that you want to define. After that, how large. So it refer to capability of holding numbers or storing numbers or whatever data you want to store. Okay, so for example, in my previous video, if you have watched it, that is about what is array. Okay, so in that video I have explained you using 100 mark of 100 students. Okay, so over there we were storing mark of 100 students, so this specifies size of particular array. Okay, so let's say you are declaring simple this statement integer marks, after that this rectangle bracket, and inside this you have written 30 and semicolon. Okay, so it's just a different if I want to store a single mark, okay, a mark of a single students, then I can just simply write that integer mark like that. Okay, but it is different from the declaration. And over here you can see that is integer, over there is also integer. After that marks, that refer to name of array, and this bracket is something new to you. Okay, and that bracket is actually a symbol or a signal that specify the compiler that you are going to define array. Okay, and so let's see the components of it. First of all, you have written int, that is integer, that specify the type of array. So first thing you have done this, what kind of array. So over here you are specifying data type. Okay, that is just a usual way to declare any variable. Okay, now after that the word mark specify the name of the variable. Okay, so if you are going to declare single variable, that is also the thing integer marks like that, very simple. Now after that the number 30 tells how many elements of the type integer will be in our array. So this 30 represent size of array that you want to store 30 numbers. Now you have question, if I want to store more than 30 numbers, then there is another alternative, that is dynamic allocation of memory. Okay, so there are certain functions using which you can assign dynamic memory to particular dynamically you can assign values and variables like that. Okay, so if you have declared like this integer marks 30, then you can maximum value that your array is capable to hold is 30. Okay, you can store less than 30 also, but not more than 30. This number is often called as the dimension of the array. Okay, so over here 30 is I also can say dimension of my array is 30. Okay, very simple. This is a first dimension. That means over here you are just going to store simple 30 numbers. Okay, which is marks. And as I have said earlier, name of any variable, it could be it should be relatable. Okay, if you are storing 100 marks of the students, then marks is the proper name of array that you are defining. Okay, so it should be like this. Now okay, one thing that is important is bracket, that tells the compiler that you are dealing with an array. Okay, so this bracket is very important over here whenever you deal with array. Okay, so this is how it is. Now let's see some example of array initialization. Okay, so first of all, over here you can see I have written integer num and inside this bracket 6. So up to this it's just an array declaration. Okay, but if you want to initialize this array, then you can do like this. Okay, so over here I have mentioned dimension of my array, that is 6. Okay, size of my array, that is 6. So over here you can see these are total 6 numbers that I have stored: 2, 4, 12, 5, 45 and 5. Okay, now this time you don't need to worry about how these elements are stored in particular memory location. Okay, there is a different video, it is a different story of this array session. Okay, I had make a separate video of how to access the value of array. Okay, and how it is stored in particular memory location whenever you are declaring or initializing particular array. So now over in this video you just need to understand how I can declare array and how to initialize it. Okay, now this is the second example, which is quite different from previous one. Now you can see in this array initialization I haven't mentioned any dimension, I haven't mentioned any size of array. Okay, so and while initializing I have just assigned values like this. Okay, now you need to note this, how I have assigned these values. Okay, this curly braces, and you just inserted value separated by comma. Okay, which is equals to size of this array, and number of these values is equals to size of this array. Okay, now in this example I haven't mentioned any size. Okay, so whenever you don't mention size of array, over there you have to specify initialize value. Okay, you can do like this, but we cannot ignore this 30 whenever you are just declaring the array. Okay, so if you are initializing array, then only you can ignore dimension of array. Now what is different of array declaration and initialization? Simple. While declaration you are just declaring this variable. Okay, so your compiler will provide you certain memory location where you can store your data, but yet now in array declaration up to this you are not assigning values to this particular memory location, but in array initialization, that means you are actually storing your data to that particular memory location. Okay, so we are assigning this data to that particular location. Now after that, it is another kind of array, that is of type float. Okay, and press brackets is equals to inside curly braces, and over here what are the 1 2 3 4, so it is size of 4 array named as a press of type float. Okay, now there are certain points that you need to note. So till the array elements are not given any specific value, they are supposed to contain garbage values. Okay, so in this example you can see I haven't specified any values. So is this array holding something? Yes. Okay, it contains garbage value. If the array is initialized where it is declared, so over here you can see we have declared this array over here and also initialize over here. So if array is initialized where it is declared, mentioning the dimension of the array is optional. Okay, over here you can see in both these cases we haven't specified dimension of array. So you can do like this, but only when you are declaring and initializing as well as in single statement. Okay, now let's see some example of array declaration and initialization. Okay, so this one is just a simple array declaration, integer, that is type of an array, name, that is an, and inside this bracket, that is 5, that is dimension of array, or I can say size of array. Now this one is array definition, that means declaration and initialization both are in single statement. So this is okay. 32, 27, 64, 95, 14. After that, another approach to definition, we are just skipping dimension of array. Okay, and you can assign value like this. Now, if you want to initialize an array by specific value, okay, by specific single value, that means all the array elements have single value, that is 0. So you can initialize like this, okay, integer and inside 5 is equals to in bracket 0. So what does it mean? It means all the elements. So over here you can see this. Now let me just clear you with one point. If size of this array is 5, so what does it mean? It will allocate you 5 memory block. Okay, it will allocate you 5 memory block of size integer. Okay, and that is what we want. That is why we want array, because if I don't use array, then what will I have to? I have to specify 5 different variable to store 5 numbers. Okay, so it is just alternative and efficient approach to store this number. So over here 5, that means what? 5 different memory location where you want to store your data. So if I initialize my array like this, so what will happen? At all the 5 location, value is gonna be 0. Okay, I can also store different values like 10, 15, 20. Okay, what is your requirement? Now I'm going to assign I'm going to declare variable with size, which is with size constant variable. Okay, so now you will get to learn another thing, that is how to define constant in C programming. So over here this statement hash define size 10. Okay, now so hash define, in my video of macro in pre-processing, you have seen this example of how to declare constant, and over there I have taken example of a pi. Okay, value of pi is 3.14. So it is just another example. Hash define, that is you are defining macro preprocessor, and value of this, that it is just another way of declaring constant. Okay, so name of my constant is size, and space separated by space, after that value. Okay, so what is value of this size is equals to 10. Now constant means you cannot change value of variable throughout your program. Okay, you can just define and initialize by 1. You cannot change after its declaration and initialization. So this size is gonna be constant having value 10, and over here we are passing size, that is variable. And what is this value of this variable? It is also normal variable, but we have defined it as a constant, so its value doesn't get changed throughout my program. Okay, so value of size is 10. So over here I am defining array of type integer having dimension 10. Okay, but you can see I have initialize it with only 5 values, but it's okay. Okay, it is possible, but I cannot initialize it with 15 values. Okay, because it exceeds to the limit of my array definition. I can only save 10 numbers over there. So it's all about array declaration and initialization. So now must wait for my and must watch my video my next video, that is about how to access array element and how these elements are stored in particular array element. How can I access it? Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye bye.